Hey, how you doing? Oi, welcome back. Welcome to my Pizza Pete Gingerbread Man video. Alright, so good old Pizza Hut days. Used to be all you can eat. Big place, big glass windows. You sit at the bays at the windows and look out at the car park. Or you'd have all the big seats in the middle. My auntie and uncle used to pick us up. We were poor, really poor as kids. And they'd come around every now and again and pick us up and take us to Pizza Hut. And we just thought that was just such an awesome treat. So we'd rock up there anyway. So it was Auntie Karina and Uncle Glenn, right? And as we got to the car park, and you have to go to drive past all the windows where everybody inside is sitting down and staring at you, he would bunny hop the car all the way across all the windows, around to the other side of the windows, and then he'd go and park, embarrass the shit out of us before we even walked in there. Oh my god, good old days. Go in and sit down, little red glass bowl in the middle with the candles, dark and dingy. It was freaking awesome. And it was all you can eat. So you smash the pizza, you smash the pasta, and then you had all you can eat dessert bar. You go and smash that chocolate mousse over and over and over. Full as an absolute good, feeling sick as, and you'd waddle up to the counter to pay, and you'd be reaching up for that big plastic see-through bowl in the sky full of the gingerbread man. Like, you had to take one of them home with you. It was just a rite of passage. It was awesome. So today, we're going to make them. Now, if you want, okay, you can just get your normal gingerbread man cutters and cut them. But to make a proper Pizza Hut one, you need to make a big bugger. They've got to be big gingerbread men. So, you can either do what I did, and I looked around and I found a picture of a gingerbread man. I always use baking paper when I'm doing my drawing and stuff, and if I want to trace anything, alright? Baking paper is awesome for everything. The best sort to get, if you want to keep it for future, to do all different sorts of cookies at Christmas and that. We have lots of fun, and you can do anything on cakes and that when you do this sort of thing, and chocolates, and I mean, we can make stained glass chocolate and everything. Oh look, it's awesome. So, baking paper. If you want, these are the expensive ones, the good one, but I normally would get, there's a cheap one, like a black and gold one you get, and it's just in a plastic wrapper. That is absolutely brilliant to use as tracing paper. Alright, so I traced around one, but it wasn't big enough for my liking because you have to have a big ass cookie. So I just went around roughly the same distance again to make it bigger. But if you can't find a gingerbread man, okay, we're going to try and do this by hand. See, I can draw wizards and scenery, and I love my charcoal and the buildings, and I can do all of that sort of stuff. But when it comes to basic things where you have to be exact, I'm absolutely hopeless at it. So what I'll do is, alright, so originally when we got the gingerbread men, they were in the shape of it, okay? And then, I don't know, after about 15, 20 years or something, they got really slack, and then they ended up making them just in a slab, and they were just like a slab like this in the end, which is what probably the younger generation will remember, before they got rid of them altogether. Alright, and it's been roughly, you know, that might be a bit generous, but that big, okay? Now, because we're doing the gingerbread, we need to make it a bit bigger than that. Just bring it in closer. And I bet because of the white... Alright, let's see what we can do. Alright, so I'm going to draw... Last big one. Okay. And then down the middle, just so we can try and get an even man, and then picture his head there, so his arms will be about here. This is just to give us a rough guide to try and make it even either side. I don't know, I hope you can see that. God, I'm blind looking into it. Anyway, okay, so head first. So we just start off with a big fatty, and then straight into arms. I think it was, wasn't it? I reckon. Straight into arms. Nice big fatties. Or not too fat, I suppose. And you can always pretty this up after and get it exact. That's why we've got heaps of paper. Now, for his body, Nice big fatty. And you can make these anyhow you want. Yeah, that's great, well done. So I'm going to go back here. I went too far for the legs. And then up into that middle bit. See? And then you just mess around with it. Okay, picture that not there, picture that not there. That needs to be shorter, I reckon, to make it fatter. Like so. So we picture all that gone. I've got myself my nice fatty, I reckon. Could probably do his head a bit bigger. I want that shape. Get rid of that. Okay, that is mine. That's what I'm using. That's how we're doing it today, alright? So once you've got your shape out that you want, you get some tracing paper. Alright, put a layer of the top. So when you trace it out, you just want to go hard and over and over and over in the same spot as you're doing it, okay? Because we're making a stencil. Okay, now I've got my little fatty. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, now we've done that. What we're going to do is you want to turn it over, okay? And what I've done is I've got cut out a Cocoa Pops cereal box, alright? We're going to use this size, so once we've turned it over, we're going to put it on this side. I'll see if I can try and get two on there. Alright, you can see that. And then you just go over it. You can be messy with this. You peel him off and you've got your outline. Okay, and then we're going to go and cut that out, and that is going to be our outline for our gingerbread men. Now, if you want to make a girl, all you do, now I've done it over that way, so I should be able to do it again. Make sure everything. Okay, is you always go from under the arm and go out, and then you want to go out enough, and then you get the join of the leg, and you go into a triangle, oops, outwards. Bigger ones I've got to try on. Alright, into a triangle, always from the under the arm to the at the corner of the creases. Now if you pull that one out, you'll have a girl one. So ignore that middle line. Oh, look at our gingerbread peoples. See, they're nice and big. Look, that's how big the cookies are going to be. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, so these are awesome to do with your kids in the holidays. Just do what I did. Get the paper, do the square and the dotted things for them, and just give them to them. And they will spend ages making their own shaped little peoples up. And then when you finish and you cut them all out, and then you make them with them, and then you decorate them after. Oh, look, this can do a whole day in the holidays. One whole day just on making big gingerbread people. So cool, isn't it? So what we need to do next is in a large bowl, we want to put 125 grams of butter chopped up in there. We're going to stick half a cup of firmly packed brown sugar in there. And what we're going to do is sit it aside for about 20 minutes, half an hour to go to room temperature, because it's really too hard to beat if it's too cold from the fridge. Alright, so do that and set that aside. Now we need 1 egg yolk for the gingerbread, and we need 1 egg white for the royal icing. So oh really, so we're going to get the egg. Oh man, I cracked it the wrong way. Let's see if I can keep it together. Alright, just get it out. Just keep doing it until it breaks off. And stick the other half in there. Okay, and pick out any little shell bits you got and set them aside for a minute. Now in a medium bowl we want to sift 2.5 cups of plain flour. Okay, so into our sifted flour, we want 1 teaspoon of bicarb soda or baking soda. Put that in there. We want to put 3 teaspoons of ground ginger in there. We want to mix it in really, really well and then set it aside. Now our butter's at room temperature. We want to get an electric beater and we want to beat it up until it's light and fluffy. Now we want to add our egg yolk and go again until it's all in properly, beaten in properly. Now we want to add 2.5 tablespoons of gorgeous golden syrup. I'll write the recipe below for you guys as always. I don't know about you guys, but I love golden syrup. Oh, look at this beautiful stuff. Mix it in really well. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start adding the flour, just little bits at a time. Well, a third at a time, we'll say. Alright, until we get it into a dough. Still too dry. It's okay. You can always come back from it. Just get some margarine out the fridge because it's soft, and put a couple of teaspoons at a time and keep working the dough until you can get it like this. Okay, that's exactly how you want it. Alright, and there's a lot of reasons why that could happen. You could have done your butter a bit too cold. You might have just measured it a little bit too less. Might have put just a fraction too much flour in. There's so many reasons why it could do it, but just don't panic. Just chuck more margarine in until you can get it into a bowl. So I'll just knead it in there for a little bit. You don't want to do it for long. Okay, once we've got it into that, the next thing we want to do is we want to put our oven on and preheat it at 180 degrees Celsius. We want to get ourselves a cookie tray ready. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to log it a bit. And I'm just going to divide up to make it work a bit easier. Now if you're doing little ones, it makes a ton of them. So you're going to just kind of work it out, you know, like if you're doing big or little. So for instance, if you're doing smaller ones, I'd make this log a bit bigger and I'd cut the log into 6. But because I'm doing big ones, I'm just going to cut it into 4. And hopefully we can scan one extra one out of it. Okay. Put them aside for a minute. Get yourself some baking paper. Put your first block on there. Put a bit of baking paper on the top. And get out your rolling pin. Now just keep rolling with the rolling pin until you can get it big enough for your man to fit on there. Okay, once you've got him big enough, peel the top off. Keep that because you'll need it again. Alright, now when you put him on there, don't press him down hard. Actually, I think I'm going to do it paper side down. Alright, you don't want to press him on hard because you won't be able to get him off. Just a real light one, and just go around the edge and just cut him out. Okay, once you've cut him out, carefully take him off. Come on, little fella, off you come. Okay, and then with your knife, just sort of cut it around in the corners and edges or wherever you want to, back from it. And then you can just scrape it off and pull it off. And do that all the way around. And then you'll put all this dough in a bowl again. And we'll use it again to make hopefully an extra one at least. So just take your time. Oh, look at him, it's so cute! Alright, so once you've done that, just get your ball and add it over there and you just get onto it later. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll get the scissors. This is the easiest way to do it, I reckon. And just cut it close to the hands. Like a saw. Slide him under like that, and then just sit him on your tray ready to go, and then make your next one. You might get lucky and squeeze 3 on, but I'm just going to do 2 at a time. Oh, how cute! Look at these big babies. Alright, so I made 6 big ones, and I made a little love heart with the leftover bits. So now normally the small ones would take 10 minutes in the oven. Well, who would know? They took exactly 10 minutes. Lovely little babies. I love the smell of gingerbread in the kitchen. It smells like Christmas and it ain't. Alright, so all you got to do is just get them and slide them onto your cooling rack. If you've got one. If you don't worry about it. Just slide them onto Gently slide them on. Okay, and then you whack your next ones in. Alright, now we're getting to the fun stuff. Okay, for the icing, or royal icing, whatever you want to call it, you need to get 1.5 cups of icing sugar and sift it into a bowl. Now we've got our egg white from before. Now really you should use a small wooden spoon, but I don't have one. So what we're going to do first is just whisk the egg white for about 10 seconds. Just like that. Now we're going to add the icing sugar 1 tablespoon at a time, and we're just going to keep doing it until we've got it to the thickness. Okay, as it starts to get a little bit thicker, swap it from the whisker to a spoon. Now I've probably only used about 1 cup of icing sugar, and it's this thick already. I'm guessing it's just because I had tiny eggs. I probably should have done 2 egg whites if you want to make a lot more, but you can just keep making it. It's not a big deal. So this for me is how I want it. Okay, to spread it on for the ones I'm doing. Now if you were to put it in a piping bag, I think this would be absolutely perfect as well, this size, this thickness. Now like I said, you'll end up making up heaps more, heaps less. If you do big batches and out of them, you just be making this all day. It's so cool. I love it. Okay, now, so if you wanted to do the traditional way, you can get these, which are just like these snap lock bags. The reason these are good for piping is because they're a perfect corner on them. There's no seams. So get yourself a little cup. Stick your finger in the corner of the bag, stick the bag in like that and wrap it around it, okay? And then however many colours you want to make up, you can make up 5 or 6 batches of these, do you know what I mean? Like all small ones in a row. And then line all these up, and then you can put your colours in when you've done them. And then you just snip the tiniest little bit off it, the tiniest little bit, so you can do your proper lines and all the kids can do their lines. So yeah, if you do them like that, it makes it really easy. What was the other thing I was going to say? So yeah, so say if you wanted to do half white and half another colour, put half of this into another small bowl. And now, hang on. Alright, before we put any colours in, we need to put, 4 drops of lemon juice. 4 drops. Alright, and mix that in. Now we've done our lemon in there. So if you double it, put 8 drops in, etc, etc. Oh, what is that? You know, one of those days you have? Okay. I don't know what that was. Alright, now that's in there. I'm going to do pink. Alright, straight out pink. So I'll just start with the tiniest bit. I'm using red, the tiniest bit, and I'll just drop a shitload in there. I'm using red food dye because normally red food dye will only ever go pink. When I was heaps younger, my eldest, I don't know, he's turning about 6 or something, and I made him a big Ferrari, and he wanted a red one, and that's what he got. He got a huge pink Ferrari for his 7th birthday. Cake I'm talking about. Oh look, I'll tell you. I used all wagon wheels and that for the wheels. It was really cool. Okay, look at that. Nice and bright. Alright, I probably would have preferred to have used less and made it a lighter pink colour, but you get that. Okay, so what we're going to do next is I'm going to bring over the... Now, I like to put them on the cooling trays and then put the cookie tray under it. So when I sprinkle the hundreds and thousands all over... Gee, that's going to be a really bright pink. Yeah, when I sprinkle the 100,000s all over, the tray will catch it so it doesn't make too much mess. Just dollop some on there. See how we go with that much first. I bet can you see from there? Yeah. Alright, and I'm just going to spread it out. Okay, so try and be as quick as possible because you don't want it to dry before you whack your hundreds and thousands on. So we get our hundreds and thousies. Over in America, they've got them, but they're called something else. Not just million dollar balls or something. Alright, and sprinkle them on nice and evenly. Alright, now that's a real puke pink, but my granddaughter's probably going to love it. So I'll do a couple more like that, and then I'm going to make another batch up, and I'm going to put the dye into a little teaspoon and then the teaspoon into there so I don't stuff it up again. And I want to do them a lot lighter. They've definitely got to be a lot lighter pink. Oh, so much fun! I just wanted to show you before I do the next lot with the proper light pink coloured ones. Okay, so this is the other thing too, like I did this love heart with the last little bit that's left over. But this is the whole great thing about these, is that you can, like, my granddaughter's birthday is coming up in January, so we're going to do, I'm going to do unicorns, okay, so I'm going to draw out a unicorn and do unicorns, and paint them all up pretty in all different colours, every single one of them. And then you make a cake, so I'm going to make a cake, probably a big pink or purple cake. And then you press the unicorns or the men, it doesn't matter, all the way around the outside. If you do the people, it looks like they're all holding hands on the cake. It's gorgeous as. But I'm going to try and do this like a carousel, I thought. So I'm going to do them around there and work out the rest of it from the top. So you can absolutely have a ball with these. Now I've actually got a gingerbread cake recipe. So, babe, out for a minute, darling. Good girl. So I'm going to do the gingerbread cake and then do these as the decorations around it, so it all goes yummy together. It's going to be awesome. And the other thing I was going to say too is that near Christmas sometime we're going to do gingerbread houses, and we're going to do these really stunning ones that you'd probably pay $100-150 for in a shop. We're going to make them ourselves, and we're going to make them really awesome. So if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. It's free, and then you'll never miss out. Okay, so I'm hoping I'm going to get this pink and put a drop of blue in it, and we should be able to turn it purple. So you can keep changing once you've used whatever colours you want. You can actually keep changing them and making them different colours. We'll see how that goes. Oh, it should go purple. Okay, it's going to be like a disgusting bright one because the pink is so... I'm trying to do it on an angle so you can see. Just to show you. And you can do these to all the bases too, and then when they all dry you can do the ones in the piping bags and then do whatever on the top. You can make these look so fancy without really being very good at anything. You can still just do it. Okay, purple. Oh, look at purple. And then do a purple one. Alright, so this batch, I just did a half batch for these three. See how I can still whisk it so it's a lot thinner. Alright, so I want to try it thinner. I haven't done these in so long, it's not funny. It's all trial and error. Now, I'm not going to be silly this time. Get something to put this in first. Put a little tiny drop of the red. I still put too much in. I'll try and just get one drop of that in. Oh, come on. Alright, see how it's just one little drop in there now. I'm going to try it run here. Doesn't matter if it goozes over onto it. Let's see, there we go. So I'm just pushing it over it all, and then I'm just letting it dribble over the sides. I just can't remember. Alright, this is definitely a little bit better pink. It's not supposed to be in that dark pink colour. It's definitely supposed to be a light pink colour. And this will definitely hold the things a bit better. So I would definitely say to do it this way, you definitely want it runnier. Definitely. Oh my god, mate. I love doing stuff like this. Come on now. How much fun is this? When you get it right. Okay. Alright, that's coated it enough, I reckon. Cover his little head a bit more. Okay. Now while it's nice and liquidy still, bang on our hunties and daisies. Yeah, that's better. That looks exactly like it now. That's the way you want it. You don't want like heaps on. You just want them evenly spread out. Yay, baby! Okay, make it runnier. See? Learn from my mistakes. Make it runnier. Not heaps of them. Just a nice thin layer. Beautiful. That's the exact colour too once you put them on there. Yay! Now you need to leave them sit there for a good hour so they're all set. I'm kind of glad that we did them too thick, too thin and all that, because now I can show you and you can do them perfect. Now, to store them. I love storing my biscuits in tins, and if you haven't got tins, some sort of airtight container. So what I'll do is I'll store these, and tomorrow night I'm going to make homemade pizzas, and then I'm going to pull these out after and surprise everyone. So I just wanted to show you, check out these violet crumble tins, how awesome are these, right? At the moment, at IGA this week, they're going out for $4 a tin, full of violet crumble, $4 a tin. Now, I couldn't even buy an empty tin for $4. So if you can and you're close to an IGA, get your ass down there and buy a heap of these tins. They're awesome for our cakes and bickies and stuff. And you get all the violet crumble too. I just thought I'd show you that. Alrighty, my friends. Okay, this is how it goes. So the one on the left was when we did our icing too thick. So when I put it on, it's a lot madder of a colour, and the hundreds and thousands seem to sit on top. Now the one in the middle is when I did it nice and thin, and I didn't drop all the red food colouring in. So I'm sorry about the lighting, I wish it could be better. So the middle one, I did a lot thinner, like a lot less icing when I put it on, but it was nice and runny. And then when I put the hundreds of thousands on, as you can see, they all sat on the top as well. Now for the third one, lucky one, I put the thin icing on, but I did a lot of it, okay? But a lot of it on there, and then the hundreds of thousands, and as you can see, they all sunk into it, and it's absolutely perfect. This one here is an exact replica of a Pizza Hut Pizza Pete. I just wish you could see it properly in the light. Mate, it's awesome. So, thinner, a lot of it on there, and the sprinkles, and they come out absolutely perfect. I mean, the other ones aren't a waste anyway. The kids are absolutely going to love them like that. But if you want to do the identical Pizza Hut ones, the end ones worked out perfect. Boom. There you have it, my friends. Our gigantic Pizza Hut Pizza Pete's. Alright, have a great night. You know me. I'll be back. Bye.